Hey guys, so by clicking on this video, you are probably somehow interested in certification exams for interpreters and translators. Now, at this point, it's pretty easy to become an interpreter and translator. All you have to do is speak another language besides your own. Now, that means that there's no licensure, no certification, no registration required. I'll explain the importance of why we should take certification exams here in a little bit. What are they anyway? You might be asking yourself. Really, all in all, they're just tests to see how proficient or competent you are as an interpreter or translator. They assess your knowledge, skills, abilities as an interpreter or translator, and they're usually broken down into two parts, written versus oral. Now, the oral component features three modes of interpretation, which are consecutive, simultaneous, and sight translation. The grading process consists of about 2 to 3 judges or graders, and they are grading you off of key units. So a key unit is usually going to be something, say for example, we have the sentence, Sarah lives in a greenhouse with 2 kids and a dog. Now, we don't have to catch every word to pass the test. You just have to catch the meaning. That's what interpretation and translation is all about, conveying the meaning with accuracy and faithfulness. So, if we were to pick out in that sentence the words with the most meaning, we could say Sarah, green, house, 2 kids, dog. You know, we're cutting out a few words, but we're still getting the meaning across. We don't want to mix up words because they're really important. Green versus yellow, Sarah versus Joe, things like that. So when we take these exams, there's a little part that people don't know about, and that there's a fee. Now, fees just kind of depend on the association that's giving you the certification, and they can range anywhere from about $200 to $600. Kind of just depends on where you go, state versus national or federal exams. So, breaking down state and national exams, we see that the associations that offer state certification have a pass rate of about 20%. So that means that 20% of people that take the exams pass. On a national level or federal level, about the same pass for the written portion, but when we come to the oral portion, only 4 to 5% pass. So what are we supposed to conclude about this data? My own say would be that the test is hard, and I believe it should be. What we're doing is making communication key in the most important aspects of some people's lives. If I were to go into the hospital, I don't want somebody to mix up a word on me and totally get some wrong surgery, which has happened before to people. If I were ever in a legal setting, I wouldn't want my livelihood at stake. So we're dealing with people's lives, and that's really important. Now, when it comes to passing, usually for most tests, there is a 70 to 80% pass rate, or passing score that needs to be obtained. So that means you can miss about 20 to 30%, which is fine. You know, you're not going to make it every time. But it's still important to do the best you can, because you're ultimately representing yourself, your career, and our profession. So when it comes down to preparation for the test, who should prepare? Well, everyone. Why? Because it's a hard test. It's reasons mentioned before, that you're representing yourself, your career, your profession, and ultimately that reflects on the development of our profession as interpreters and translators. Now, what about when and where we should prepare? I mean, what can we do to prepare for that? Well, there's a lot of resources actually. I'd say anytime and anywhere would be best. Education, background education in your second language is always, I'd say needed. And if you want to advance on that, experience. The internet has everything. You can search links, you can search videos, everything that it takes to prepare for a certification exam for an interpreter. Most associations have a practice test link on their page. As far as other study tips and methods, just compare it to any other exam. You know, if you have test anxiety, keep cool and just remember what you do to get through it and pass on top, you know. All in all, it's so important for interpreters and translators to become certified because lives are at stake. Your own life or livelihood can be at stake as well in any given situation. And we need better interpreters and translators. Thanks.